Good evening. Can you all hear me, I hope?
Not yet.
May I have your attention, please?
Switch there.
Welcome. My name is Mark Leach. I'm the Executive Director of the Southeastern Center for Contemporary Art, and it's a thrill to have you all here this evening to hear a wonderful presentation about a magnificent park in the United States. SECCA has been on a year-long journey charted by our curator, Stephen Matticio, and his colleague, to transform the institution as we are closed for a year of renovation. We are still in and working in our site at SECCA on Marguerite Drive, but we are very active in the community. And the most recent of our projects is actually not more than, I'll bet, a football field's distance as you go from NOMA in the Lowy building. Berlin artist Anna von Gwinner has done a magnificent projection that's now on view in the Lowy building called -8. I won't say any more about it because, from 8, well, it's actually 7 to midnight, but it doesn't really render itself well until probably 8:30, quarter to 9 because of the sunset. But I want to say thank you to some folks who have been enormously helpful to us during this period of renewal and also transformation. First, I'd like to say thank you to the Arts Council of Winston-Salem and Forsyth County, Milton Rhodes and Richard Emmett and Christine Gerlich, and so many of the Arts Council staff who have been stalwarts in supporting not only this project, but SECCA as we move through this period of transformation, have really given wind to the wings that we have been trying to spread programmatically across the community. I also want to acknowledge Mary Ellen Joines, who has been just such a terrific help to SECCA. I have to say, when we launched this project back in the fall, Stephen Matticio, our curator, and Cliff Dosel, I think, and I and our whole staff probably naively thought that it was going to be easy to deploy these public art projects across the community in different buildings and that the public would willingly say, come on in. Well, that is true, but there's a lot of code issues to attend to, and certainly public safety is an issue, and we really wanted to make sure that we did it right because this isn't only a year-long project. We realized at SECCA that in order to sustain the public's interest, we can't simply rely on the eagerness of a public to come to SECCA's property on Marguerite Drive. Moreover, I think that in order to transform the community, to constantly engage in a public dialogue about what culture means, it is going to be critical for us to do so in the various neighborhoods that our community citizens live in. And so this is a project that we're committed to all year long, every year going forward. There are inherent costs, and certainly some of the risks that we will take will require a vote of confidence and trust on the public's part. But I think as our record will prove as we move through this period, this year-long calendar program, I think you'll come to enjoy the Odyssey. You'll see the unique vision that Stephen Matticio, our curator, and Cliff Dosel, his colleague, have brought forward. And at the same time, you will not only enjoy the remarkable kinds of artists' creativity and the way they treat our environment, but through Michael Cristiano's education program, which has been so robust and so successful at the Gateway Y, for example, where we had a wonderful after-school program, to a current program that's inspired by Anna von Gwinner's projections, where we actually are doing a collaborative project between West Forsyth High School and Lincoln High School in Seoul, South Korea, where the students in these honor programs in the arts area are exploring cultural identity. It is an opportunity unprecedented for us to be able to work with many different people of diverse backgrounds to really harness the creative potential and transform the way we see the world. Also want to say thank you to one of my colleagues who's here with me this evening. That's Lee French, who really jumped on board at the very beginning. Lee and I had lunch not long ago. Actually, it was probably in July, I'll bet, maybe even June. I don't remember. Time seems to slip by so quickly. But we were talking about a public art program, and Lee said, golly, that sounds really neat. What kind of things are you thinking about? And he was a willing spirit from the get-go. And it is the result of that kind of collegial energy and support that his organization sent forward, not only from Lee, but every one of the departments at Old Salem Museum and Gardens. They really helped Charlie Brower, who's the Virginia artist whose exhibition public project just closed at Old Salem, really enjoyed the support of. And so we realized that we can't do it alone. We realized that it's essential that it takes a community to make a project of this magnitude work. And more importantly, it requires the hearts, the souls, the spirits, and the minds of everybody too. It's my great pleasure this evening to introduce Mary Ellen Joines, who has been, again, just a remarkable supporter of what SECCA has been doing during this year. Every one of the departments in city government that Mayor Joines works with has been supportive. I remember Martha Wheelock, Mayor Joines, assembling a group of probably no fewer than 5 or 6 of your counterparts to talk about the project as a whole, but more importantly, several of the projects in particular, where we're actually going to intervene on city streets, for example, and wanting to make sure that we did the due diligence, but more importantly, got the support of the city. And we're grateful for the kinds of involvement and enthusiasm your staff has put forward. And thank you. And it's, again, my privilege to introduce Mayor Joines, who will introduce our guests.